spend on you.
My dad is a fingerstyle guitar player, and that's the way I learned. So I just always played with the thumb pick and finger picks, and always tried to grab as much of a chord as I could while trying to play a melody, which he said he kind of got from listening to Lead Belly records of doing a walking bass kind of thing, kind of a boogie thing like that, and I just sort of amped it up. A lot of influences I've had, they're pretty wide-ranging. A lot of it stems from a lot of like early blues music from even like the 20s and 30s up until like the 50s rock and roll kind of thing. I really like a lot of 60s soul singers. I don't necessarily consider myself a blues guy or a blues man or whatever you say, because I do have a pretty short attention span, and it does sort of center over like about the last 100 years of American music, and everything from say something like the Stooges to Charlie Patton or Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys or Merle Haggard to Link Wray. So, and I think all that stuff's connected, so I just try to connect it.
Some do don't you say the west at the strings. I wish I could be your man.
As it turned out, some of my favorite guys, and T-Bone Walker and Wayne Bennett, always use these great big hollow bodies, really give you a nice low end on them, and also I just like the sound of big thick strings. You get that nice sustain, like you can't get that with a nine.
Oh, I would love my hotel women. It's so exciting, baby, so fun at first. Late in the night time, I feel born at the right time. Cold out of morning, baby, my feelings get hurt.
Well, the neck on the Dean guitar, as you can see, is just a great big hunk of wood that I love. They can't never make them, a baseball bat, but I really like it a lot. It's really, really comfortable, and it does feel, like an old kind of vintage guitar. That's what I like best about it. It felt, it was a really nice, comfortable, it feels like an old guitar, and that goes a long way with me. They've been tanks. I've gotten them off of planes and things, and they've been fantastic, wonderful things. And that's something, as a working musician, where you have to travel, really extensively. And these things have to live in a van for half their life, and then also when they get out of that van, be able to perform and not be treated nicely. And I'm a hard player. I put big heavy strings. That's a 13 on there. These P90 pickups, because they're, being a fingerstyle player, they're really responsive to attack and how hard you hit it, not just what you're, just what what you plug it into. It's really sensitive to fingerstyle, and really, because you can play really quiet things, but then you can also things like that, and there's something about a really hot single coil pickup that really does it.
Satisfied.
What I play in the on the road is what I use in the studio. I don't have funky little studio guitars. You want something that's comfortable that plays. And this thing, it's set up the way I like it. The last album, the album before, there was nothing but Dean guitars on them.
I ways just like an angel, and I'm sweet as blackberry jam. My mind is on the devil, and I don't much give a damn what you say. So I'm moving.
Sometimes you have to get on a plane with just your axe, and you have to play whatever, you know, whatever amp is there. And you know, for me, you know, a tone goes a long way, and it's more so about any sort of pedal or anything I can stomp on. I would much rather just plug straight into something and be able to get the sound I want rather than have to mess around. This guitar sounds like this guitar when you plug it into a Marshall, you plug it into a Fender Twin, or you plug it into a Princeton, or it sounds right for me.
That's a million to me.
One says, "Man, I love that old Gretsch or whatever that is, or that old." And I said, "Man, this is a new guitar. This is, you know, I wouldn't take one of those things. It wouldn't hold up on the road like this guitar has." And that's, you know, that's no bull, man. That's the truth. I mean, I'm sitting here today. You know, this thing's been in the car all night, you know, and I took it out and it was in tune. You know,
In my arms, I don't wanna go.